Hi there. What miserable weather. Well, what do you do when it's cold and rainy and wet? You get yourself into the treehouse and do another treehouse tutorial. Yes, here we are. So this one is for year 3-4. It's an English treehouse tutorial all around reading skills. And we're going to make sure that we understand a text today. We're going to look at some of the vocabulary within it and check that we understand what we are reading in a non-fiction text. Sounds great, doesn't it? So we're going to have a look at that text straight away. It's a very short paragraph, really, just about giant pandas. So I'm going to read through that text for you now before we sort of take it apart a little bit. Giant pandas. Pandas are mammals, native to China, where they are considered a national treasure. Being mammals, the females are able to produce milk to nurse their young. As with most mammals, pandas have fur or hair on their bodies. The giant panda, which is known by other names including party-coloured bear, bamboo bear and the great panda, is easily distinguished from its distant cousin the red panda due to its large size and black and white coloured markings. It is thought that the bold colouring of the giant panda, Aeluropoda melanura, I've given it a go at least, may provide camouflage. Okay, so we've got here an excellent text which was produced by a primary school aged child, which I think is fantastic. We're going to go back through it, kind of line by line, sentence by sentence, and make sure that we understand what the text is communicating to us, and in that case we'll need to have a look at some of the vocabulary that's used. If we go back to the start there, so pandas are mammals native to China where they are considered a national treasure. Excellent first sentence for us to dive straight into with this objective. We've got some subject-specific vocabulary there, for example, mammals, so we make those links with science learning. But do you understand what it means when it says native to China? Native to China. If you didn't understand that, obviously we've got resources like dictionaries, thesauruses, that we can use to understand words like native. But equally, I want you to read around and start to infer and get an idea of what this could mean. So again, read the sentence again. Pandas are mammals native to China, where they're considered a national treasure. So native to China, you might be starting to get this idea, this impression that it means that they're from China, that they came from China originally. And that's the kind of idea that we're getting from this phrase, native to China. Let's also look later in that sentence at where they're considered a national treasure. What could that mean? Because again, if we take this literally, then we're going to go down the wrong path and we're going to start to think of pirates with their treasure and all sorts of things. But in this case, a national treasure. What is treasure? Well, treasure is very precious, isn't it? So perhaps this is communicating to us that pandas are extremely precious and highly regarded by the people of China. Okay, a national treasure. Let's keep moving on. Being mammals, the females are able to produce milk to nurse their young. Nurse there, just be aware that that's kind of referring to the fact that, think about what a nurse does. A nurse looks after others. Okay, so the nurse used there as a verb that's what they use to look after and take care for their young. We keep moving on. As with most mammals, pandas have fur or hair on their bodies. I'll keep moving from there. The giant panda, which is known by other names including party-coloured bear, bamboo bear and the great panda, is easily distinguished from its distant cousin the red panda due to its large size and black and white coloured markings. It's a very long sentence. The phrase that I want to zoom in on there is easily distinguished. Okay, so again we're thinking we could be using a resource to find out what distinguished means, for example. But also, before we even go to that, try and get an idea so that you can understand the meaning of the whole sentence. Get an idea of that phrase. Read around it. Read it over again. So just that section again there. It's easily distinguished from its distant cousin, the red panda, due to its large size and black and white coloured markings. Distinguished here. We're getting this idea, hopefully, that it's different. It's different to something else. You can recognise it as different from something else. You can separate it from that other cousin that it says there, the red panda. you can distinguish it, you can make it different and separate it from something else. Okay, we then keep going to the end there. Well, I really don't want to go back to that last sentence because you'll have all been laughing at me trying to say the word, or the words rather, that are in brackets there. But again, don't get too worried if you're reading through a text and you're struggling to pronounce a particular word or words, especially when we're looking at something challenging like this. Please don't worry about that. So I've taken you through parts of that and shown you how we could be discussing words and phrases that we come across. Some of you might be thinking, well, yeah, but that's okay because you had an idea of what they meant. The idea is that you're reading texts that are appropriately challenging to you. So think about, make sure that your reading books have got 2 or 3 words on each page that you're having these kinds of discussions around with your parents, or even just thinking about it yourselves. But then you're equally not coming across 25 words within a page that you really haven't got a clue about. Okay, so this should give you a decent indication of what your reading level is and what kind of books you should be reading and texts. Okay, hope you've started to find that useful. Go away and have a little go at that sort of skill yourselves.